Ahoy there, pirates! Marky or Kerfuffle Hustle here from Rare Thief. Not long ago, we pirates embarked upon an adventure to investigate shrouded islands throughout the seas. Now, as we seek to further unravel these sinister mysteries, the sea calls us to a new adventure, Forts of the Forgotten. It is one thing to simply complete the adventure. It is another thing to brazenly declare to Flameheart and the rest of the seas that you have freed every one of his Golden Sands hostages and gleaned any bit of intel they're willing to share. Aye, you can achieve this by completing the deeds that accompany the Forts of the Forgotten adventure, for this will earn you the title Freer of Forgotten Forts. There are a total of 12 deeds in this Forts of the Forgotten adventure, and you will meet the requirements for several of these deeds naturally as you progress through the adventure. However, you could miss completing some deeds entirely. To complete every deed, you'll need to clear multiple active sea forts around the Sea of Thieves, free prisoners you find along the way, and collect any mysterious artifacts you come across. While we'll of course go through each of these deeds here, you can also find these deeds listed under the Adventure tab in your menu. The purpose of this video is more so to mention a few tidbits that might make completing these deeds a wee bit easier. First and foremost, it's important to mention that you can complete these deeds without doing the adventure. The Phantom Jailor, prisoners, and Enchantment Vessel will always be at an active sea fort, regardless of whether you have activated the adventure. So yes, it is not necessary to speak with Larinna or Belle to start the adventure before defeating Phantom Jailors, speaking to freed prisoners, or even delivering enchantment vessels. Of course, you should still do the adventure at least once to earn your Jailor's Cutlass. However, it is nice to know that you don't need to sail to Golden Sands Outpost to speak with Belle every time you want to try to find a new set of prisoners to free. Alright, pirates, without further ado, let's run through each of these deeds in order. The first and easiest deed is to speak with Belle. You can find Belle at Golden Sands Outpost. More specifically, she'll be at the island's center, standing near the tavern entrance holding a lit lantern. Simply walk up and speak with her, and you'll complete this deed. The second deed is to defeat 3 Phantom Jailors. You can find a Phantom Jailor at any active sea fort, fighting alongside the army of phantoms that roam the fortress. This is a crew-based deed, so don't worry if you weren't the one to deal the final blow. As long as someone on your crew caused his demise, you'll all receive credit for defeating the Phantom Jailor. Similar to a sea fort captain, Phantom Jailors are marked with a red title and have more health than standard phantoms. Upon defeat, the Phantom Jailor will drop the as-yet elusive prison cell key. Unlike sea fort captains, the battle does not end with his defeat, so if he simply got caught in the crossfire, you might not realize you've defeated him. In that case, simply keep an eye out for a key glinting on the ground near where you last saw the scoundrel. Also, unlike the sea fort captains, you won't need to clear any waves of phantoms for the jailer to appear. You should be able to find the Phantom Jailor among the first wave of phantoms. If you can't find the Phantom Jailor, you might check to see if the prison cell is open. It might be that another crew cut down the jailer and opened the cell without clearing the remainder of the fort. Since you'll need to defeat 3 Phantom Jailors in total, this means you'll need to sail to at least 3 active sea forts to complete this deed. As soon as you do defeat your 3rd Phantom Jailor, your second deed will be complete. You will most likely complete this deed simply by completing the adventure. In the adventure, Belle will give you a list of tasks to complete. On that list, you'll see that you must clear 1 sea fort in each of the 3 regions. Technically, clearing a sea fort means defeating the fort's captain, so theoretically you could clear the fort without defeating the jailer. However, unless another crew has gotten to the jailer first without clearing the fort, it is unlikely that you will fight through all the waves at an active sea fort without slaying the jailer in the process. On to the third deed. To complete the third deed, you must deliver an enchantment vessel to Belle for study. You can find an enchantment vessel in the prison cell on the bottom floor of any active sea fort. To open the prison cell, you'll need to defeat the Phantom Jailor guarding it to get the prison cell key. Then, with the key in hand, you'll be able to open the prison cell and get the enchantment vessel. With the enchantment vessel on board your ship, sail back to Golden Sands Outpost. Once at the outpost, head toward the tavern to find Belle. Approach Belle with the enchantment vessel and sell it to her to complete this deed. It doesn't matter who on your crew ultimately hands it over. As long as someone on your crew gives an enchantment vessel to Belle, the whole crew will get credit for the deed. Once again, this deed also appears on Belle's task list, so you can complete this deed in the course of completing the adventure. However, as we mentioned before, if you don't have the adventure in progress, but you'd like to cross this deed off your list, you certainly can. You can find and deliver an enchantment vessel without ever formally beginning the adventure. Of course, you won't only find an enchantment vessel in these sea fort prison cells. The remaining 9 deeds are all about speaking to the people you find there too. These 9 deeds are all earned on an individual basis. In other words, it is not enough that your crewmates spoke with the prisoners. To complete these tasks, you must speak with the prisoners yourself. These prisoners are residents of the Golden Sands Outpost, taken captive when the outpost was attacked. And we begin with Wonda. The next deed is to speak with Wonda once she's freed. Wonda, spelled with an O, is the weaponsmith of Golden Sands. She is also the sister of Wanda, spelled with an A, the warsmith, a one-time loyal follower of Flameheart who has since turned against him. At every active sea fort, inside the prison cell, you will find 3 prisoners taken from Golden Sands. Wanda will always be one of those 3 prisoners. To speak with Wanda, you must first open the locked prison cell. As you already know from getting the enchantment vessel, defeating the Phantom Jailor will award you with the prison cell key. You then simply use this key to open the prison cell and speak with Wanda to complete this deed. Speaking to the freed prisoners is also on Belle's task list. So, while the adventure does not need to be active for you to complete this deed, you will naturally complete this and the previous 3 deeds simply by completing the Forts of the Forgotten adventure. Now on to the remaining 8 deeds. To complete the remaining 8 deeds, you must speak with the remaining 8 Golden Sands prisoners. This means sailing to more active sea forts, killing their Phantom Jailors, and opening their prison cells to speak with the prisoners inside. Depending on who you find in those prison cells, this could take a bit of time. Of course, you'll find at least 2 additional prisoners when you first find and speak to Wanda. As we mentioned, every active sea fort has 3 prisoners locked in the prison cell in the bottom floor. Wanda is always one of the 3, but the other 2 can be any of the other Golden Sands residents. Which residents you find is completely random. So, you might sail to another active sea fort and find 2 new prisoners. Or, you might find ones you've seen before. To save some time, upon arriving at a sea fort, you could first head down to the prison cell to see who's being held captive. If none of the prisoners are ones with whom you need to speak, then you can simply leave and sail on to the next active sea fort. Again, and more importantly for these remaining 8 deeds, you do not need to be doing the adventure to get credit for speaking with the freed prisoners. This means, as soon as you step foot into the Sea of Thieves, you can sail straight to an active sea fort from the outpost and free the prisoners there, without first paying a visit to Belle. This also means, if you're engaged in other activities at sea, and you happen to pass by a sea fort, you can pop by and peek in the prison cell to see if you see any new faces. Eventually, you will find all of Wanda's 8 companion prisoners and complete the remaining 8 deeds. Alright, pirates, alas, that prison cell key is within our grasp. Strike down those Phantom Jailors and free the good folks of Golden Sands. Of course, if you stumble upon any questions, thoughts, or exciting encounters along the way, feel free to share those in the comments below. See you on the seas!